Hi, welcome. Stu Guerra here from Italcorse Asia. Welcome back to the channel. I want to address one of the first things first, which is really, a lot of parents will ask, is this sport safe? Right? And safety really has to be our number one priority in going into this sport. So let's try and address the elephant in the room and talk about safety for a little bit. First of all, I will say from my own experience, it's been an extremely good experience. I've had 2 years with my son racing in the sport. He started at age 7, he's now 9. And in those 2 years, he's done a lot of track time, he's done racing, etc. And, I will say we've been, very lucky. We've had no major injuries in that time. But, it's not a sport that isn't without some degree of danger. What I will say though, and you should take away, is first of all, the karts are really built for safety. There's a few things like there's no seat belts in a kart. Well, that's actually intentional. The karts are designed if, in the incredibly rare, and I have seen once in the last two years, a kart actually flip over. If a kart does flip, they're designed that the child and the kart will separate. You do not want the weight of the kart and the child together. And that when we size the karts and get the kids in, we make sure the kids aren't too big for the kart, because if they're wedged in too hard, then they actually won't come out. The protection around the kart, the front, the rear, the sides, the back, they race on a track that has, the walls are typically not concrete walls that you're racing against. You've got what's called Tech Pro barriers. These are plastic barriers designed with big straps in the middle of them, designed to absorb shock, etc. And the karts do have some sacrificial pieces. So if you do, bang into a wall, then you will bend some bits on the kart, maybe a steering column, maybe a tie rod, something like that. These are not massive or very expensive parts, and they are designed to bend as part of absorbing the shock to protect the child. So all in all, if it's done well, it's a pretty safe sport. The kids are in full fireproof suit, full Nomex fireproof suit. They wear a fireproof balaclava. They're wearing a neck protector to protect their neck. They're wearing a helmet that's the same degree of protection as a Formula One driver would drive. They've got fireproof boots on. They've got fireproof gloves on. So they really are protected against many different, things of either a crash, of hitting something, of even the potential of fire. Although incredibly rare, it could happen, and we have to be prepared for that. But all in all, I will say that most of the kids I've ever seen wearing a plaster cast up and down pit lane got their injuries from soccer. That, broken arms, broken legs, twisted ankles, all of those sorts of things, none of those have ever happened on the track that I've ever seen. They all come from kids playing soccer where they don't have all the protective gear of racing. So if your kid, is able to listen and pay attention, you'll find it's a great sport because one of the first things that we teach is all the safety things. And as long as they're going to pay attention to that, you typically won't have a problem. If kids aren't able to listen, we do take a pretty strict line. If we do think kids are not, safe in the way they're driving, or they're not listening and they're putting either themselves or others at danger, we would immediately pull them off the track at that point. But you'll need to make your own assessment. I can only encourage you to come and have a look, come and see what goes on. What it does teach on the other side of all this equation, because there is an element of danger, it really teaches kids responsibility. It teaches kids the discipline of always putting on all of your safety gear, of never compromising safety, of making sure you pay attention. And that increase in maturity with the kids in able to drive safety as a message with them, I think is something that stays with them, far outside karting, and makes it very valuable. So I hope you take a few things away really around safety in kids karting, all the way from little kids from age 5 or 6 onwards. We fit them out with the right gear, we put them in the right equipment, we give them the right rules, and we race as safely as possible. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. If you like, please like and share our video, and talk to you on the next channel video. Thanks.